Well, good morning, everyone. This morning we're in Jeremiah chapter number 46, last few verses. And what was striking about the last few verses is I don't know if you've ever read through the book of Jeremiah, but Jeremiah gives the prophecy of the Lord. The people really do not like it. Nobody would. But what's really sad about it is they see it getting closer and closer. Incrementally, they see the nation collapsing. And Jeremiah keeps telling them, you got to repent. You've got to change your ways. You've got to do better, or it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Around chapter number 42, he says, hey, don't even think about running for it. Don't think about fleeing the problem. He said, you need to hunker down and be faithful. In fact, Jeremiah in chapter number 46, really, I think chapter number 45, it becomes permanent. Like, this is it. There's the line's been crossed. I'm going to go ahead and do this no matter what the people decide to do. And what's really crazy about it is that he gets a meeting together with those that would listen, men and women. And not only is he in a day where men were the lead, he was basically getting told off by the women of the nation as the authority and the force behind it all. And so it wasn't just men leading them off into calamity. The women were really a hard force to disobey God and to dishonor Jeremiah and to disregard the prophecy that was before them. And Jeremiah says, okay, that's it. God's not going to give us any more word. And in 46, though, he says something to those that are willing to remain faithful to the Lord. He says, if you will remain faithful, I will take care of you from afar. If you'll stay right here and allow the nation to be conquered and go ahead and go into captivity, I will take care of you from afar. I think that's a very difficult thing for us to do. I don't think just because we're Americans, but I think also because we're Americans, that we really struggle with the idea of our nation not having victory. There are lots of people out there that are saying that there's no way that America could ever be overthrown because the hand of God is on it and there's no way it'll ever turn. Well, I think that's a disregard of the Old Testament, because Israel was God's people. And when they disobeyed him, he simply let them be overthrown. In fact, he orchestrated the enemies that would overthrow them. And so we have to be really careful that we remain faithful no matter what. That's the key right there. But no matter what happens, no matter what goes on around us, no matter where our nation actually ends up, that we would remain faithful. Faithfulness has always been the key. Faithfulness to the Lord. I know that right now everybody's saying, well, we can't go to church, so how can we be faithful? Well, your faithfulness has never been dictated by your ability to go to church. Your faithfulness has been something that's been happening in your heart. It's something that you've lived your life by. Remember, as a New Testament believer, we are allowing Christ to live through us. Christianity in itself is not a code of conduct. It's a submission to allow Jesus to be the one who lives through us. And so if you want to be counted in the faithful, then you have to determine whether or not Jesus is the one that's living through you. Faithfulness is going to be the key from here. Whether our nation rises to dominance or if it falls into obscurity, maybe even a non-essential part of the world, no matter which way it goes, we are to remain faithful. God promises to take care of his own. He may have to do it from afar because we may end up losing our national pride, I guess you'd say. But he definitely wants us to be faithful, always faithful. And our faithfulness cannot be dictated by whether or not we have a church building. Look through the book of Acts, not a lot of church buildings. And so I just want to make sure you understand that. Oh yes, of course, we're getting ready to go live again. We're just maybe a couple of weeks out. But I'll tell you, we need to remain faithful no matter what. And I hope that today is a day that's marked by your faithfulness to the Lord. Would you do that today? Would you measure your faithfulness and recognize that God's goodness is going to be meted out to the faithful? Hey, church family, I love you. I hope you have a great day.